আমরা বাংলাদেশি। আমরা আমেরিকাতে বড় হয়েছি। আমরা বিদেশি। Hi everyone, welcome to Deshi. Today we have a very special show lined up for you. আমি যখনই বাংলাদেশে যাই তখন আমাকে সবাই জিজ্ঞেস করে দিয়া আমেরিকার সবচেয়ে ভালো লাগে কোন জিনিস তোমার তখন আমি বলি American law is one of my favorite things. Not only do I feel secure in America, I also feel protected. Today in our panel we have two very important panelists who are not only brothers and sisters but also very prominent lawyers here in New Jersey. And also we have their dad with us, who's also a very well-loved community leader. First we have Dewan Nashad. Hi Dewan.
Hi.
Dewan is a Deputy Attorney General for the state of New Jersey. Then we have Sharmeen Arifin. Hi Sharmeen.
Hello.
Sharmeen is also a Deputy Attorney General for the state of New Jersey. And we have their father, Dewan Shamsul Arifin. Assalamu alaikum. Acha. Mr. Arifin is a sociology professor as well as a renowned columnist and author. Audience, as you can tell, we have a very interesting show lined up in front of us. We are going to talk about not just how they became such successful lawyers, but also the laws of America as well as the lawmaking systems of Bangladesh. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to Deshi. You're watching us on STV US. As we were saying, we have some very important panelists today in our panel. First, I'm gonna go to Dewan. Dewan, before I even start the show and talk about how important your position is, you have to explain to us, tomorrow amaderke as well as people in Bangladesh, America, bujhate hobe je ekjon Attorney General-er role-ta ki?
Well, the Attorney General is the chief law enforcer in the state of New Jersey. And the Attorney General office is also New Jersey's law firm. They provide legal advice to all state agencies and as well as defend suits, civil suits against state agencies. The office also oversees all the prosecutors' offices in the state. They also oversee the gambling commission, as in everything that goes on in the casinos.
So in short, everything that goes on in the state of New Jersey is the responsibility of the Attorney General's office, sort of, in a nutshell.
I mean, generally, as long as it's state related, like we don't get involved in county operations, county operations, county institutions, just as long as it's state. Yes.
Okay, so it is a very important position, and as to my knowledge, you were the first two Bangladeshis to be appointed in that position?
Well, we're not appointed, we're hired. But, and to our knowledge, we were the first.
Okay.
We can't, confirm that, but to our knowledge.
So, Sharmeen, what is the process of actually getting getting hired?
So you apply, it's a long application, send it in, and they do a very thorough background check, your criminal history, everything, educational history, and also your ethical history, whether or not you're a lawyer in good standing in the state.
So, Uncle, you were saying that Dewan, he actually was in engineering, and then he switched his career path?
কথাটা ঠিক।
জি বলেন।
দেওয়ান নওশাদ প্রথমে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পড়ছিল, 3 বছর পড়েছে সে।
জি জি।
এবং পড়েছিল মূলত মার পছন্দ ছিল, ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পড়ুক আর মেয়ে পড়ুক ডাক্তারি, এরকম একটা স্বপ্ন ছিল। এবং সেখানে দেওয়ান শেষে ডিসাইড করলো যে ল ভালো লাগছে না, খুব মানে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং ভালো লাগছে না, খুবই শুকনো এরকম একটা ফিলিংস আর কি। ল পড়তে চাইলো আর কি। তারপরে লতে ফিরলো এবং ল যেগুলো রিকোয়ার্ড কোর্সেস, ল কোর্সেস ওগুলি আন্ডার গ্রাজুয়েট শেষ করে একটানা সে আবার সেকেন্ড হলে ভর্তি হলো এবং সেকেন্ড শেষ করে এবং একদম নিয়তম সময়ে এই 1 বছর স্টেট সুপ্রিম কোর্টের ক্লার্কশিপ করেছে, তারপরে ফেডারেল কোর্টে কাজ করেছে সে, ব্যাংক্রাপসি কোর্টে। এগুলো হচ্ছে সে বলতো।
What made you change your mind?
From
engineering to law?
It's kind of like what he said. It's it just wasn't for me. I guess you have to have a certain personality to, it's a lot of just, dry work, but it's very logical though, so I did kind of enjoy that. And believe it or not, the law has a lot in common with math because they're both based in logic.
But একটা কথা যেটা আমি এখন আঙ্কেলের কাছে আবার জিজ্ঞেস করবো, দেখা যায় যে বাংলাদেশি প্যারেন্টসরা, রাইট, they like, I think their top is medicine, then comes engineering, and then comes law. I mean, why do you think that is? Why do you think medicine gets such higher standing over like law? I mean, I don't know.
দুটো কারণে এদেশে তো জানো যে বেসিক্যালি ডাক্তারদের পজিশন এবং সাথে সাথে অর্থকরী দুটোই
কিন্তু লয়ারদেরও কিন্তু খারাপ না।
লয়ারও তাই, লয়ারও তাই।
But that's true in every community.
Basically তাই।
But I think Bangladeshi lawyer is not as prestigious as here in America. I think here they have a lot, like if you want to be politicians or if you want to have like a stable holding in the office, if you have a law background, it helps much more.
সেটা ওই মানে কার্যত কিন্তু একই ব্যাপার, সেটা পৃথিবীর বিভিন্ন দেশে যারা লেজিসলেচারে যায় তারাও বেশিরভাগই লয়ার থাকে, ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড থাকে।
আমি যখন ইন্ট্রোডাকশনে বলছিলাম যে আমেরিকান ল is by far, to me at least, is one of the best in the world. The way it's enforced more than what's written. Like, what do you think makes it so special?
What makes the law special?
Yes, the law and how it's enforced.
Well, I think number one is the enforcement of it, but number two is the accountability of it. People are held accountable here, whereas in other places they may not be.
Accountable মানে কেউ যদি কিছু করে তাদেরকে কোয়েশ্চেন করা হয়।
Right. I mean, there's corruption everywhere, but more or less, no matter what your standing is, you are going to be held accountable for what you do. And I think that's what sets it apart from other systems.
আরেকটা কথা আমরা বলছিলাম যে ওরা যখন after they got hired as deputy attorney generals, like অনেকে অনেক রকম রিকোয়েস্ট নিয়ে আপনাদের কাছে আসে।
এসেছে লয়ার হওয়ার পর থেকে এসেছে।
লয়ার হওয়ার পর থেকে কি টাইপের রিকোয়েস্ট আনে?
Everything. They go from can you get me out of my traffic ticket to can you sue my office, or my former office,
sue my spouse, former spouse. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do any of that now.
Right.
We cannot practice outside of.
So what a lot of people don't know, that once you are in the office, you really can't do personal favors.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, our office is very, very high on ethics, and they don't want to create any kind of even appearance of partiality.
তাই জন্য মানুষের রাগ করে না যে হ্যাঁ আমি শারমিনকে একটা কথা বললাম, আমার টিকিটটা কেয়ার করলো না।
No, I mean, we'll talk to them and listen to them and refer them to someone else. I've referred a lot of people to my old firm or to different people who have expertise in that field.
Have you ever had any community in New Jersey, like any community workshops where you tried to help, or do you have any plans of that kind of things?
We can't do that.
Oh, you
now.
can. All right. But uncle is like a community leader. Like, do you have any plans in the future of actually having anything of that sort? Like, if anybody has problems with their immigration, or if anybody has a problem with states, like.
ঠিক ওদেরকে নিয়ে সেটা তো নেই, কারণ ওরা পারবে না, ওরা তো ওটা অ্যালাউ না। কিন্তু আমাদের সোসাইটি বা কমিউনিটি থেকে এই ধরনের চিন্তা আসে, অনেকের ইমিগ্রেশন, পার্টিকুলার ইমিগ্রেশন প্রবলেম অন্যান্য এইগুলো, সেগুলোর জন্য আলাদা বডি আছে, তো সেটাতে ইভেন টোটালি সরকারি না, এগুলো যেগুলো যেমন এনজিওর মতো অথবা ভলান্টিয়ার অর্গানাইজেশনস, নিউ জার্সি ইমিগ্রেশন পলিসি নেটওয়ার্ক বলে একটা নিউ ইয়র্কে অফিস আছে ফর এক্সাম্পল আর কি, তারা মাঝে মধ্যে ওয়ার্কশপ করে, তারা সেখানে এগুলো নিয়ে তারা ডিল করে, আমাদেরকে কারো সমস্যা থাকলে তাদের কাছে রেফার করি।
আচ্ছা uncle, hold that thought. Audience, we have to take a very short break and we'll be right back.
Hey viewers, কি খবর? আমি হ্যারল্ড, বিদেশি পক্ষ থেকে শুভেচ্ছা জানাচ্ছি নিউ ইয়র্কের পথে ঘাটে থেকে। আমরা বিভিন্ন মানুষের সাথে কথা বলবো এখন, চলো তাহলে দেখি মানুষে কি বলে। আপনাকে যে প্রশ্ন করবো সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমরা বাংলাদেশে আইন কানুন দেখি এবং যুক্তরাষ্ট্রে আইন কানুন দেখি, কিন্তু এর প্রয়োগের সময় ডিফারেন্সটা কোথায়?
যুক্তরাষ্ট্রে যে আইন কানুন প্রয়োগ করা হয় এবং ওইটা খুব অ্যাক্টিভভাবে প্রয়োগ করা হয় এবং ওইটা ভেরি এফেক্টিভ।
প্রয়োগের ডিফারেন্সটা আমি মনে করি যে আইন মানুষের নিজেরই ইয়া করতে হবে, সবাইকে আইন মানা যে দরকার এটাকে বুঝতে হবে।
বাট বাংলাদেশে যে আইন কানুন প্রয়োগ করা হয় ওইটা সবসময় প্রয়োগ করা হয় না এবং ওইটা এফেক্টিভ না।
প্রয়োগের ডিফারেন্সটা বাংলাদেশের আইন কানুন আছে কিন্তু প্রয়োগ না,
এটা উপর থেকে চাপাই দেওয়ার মতো একটা ব্যাপার না, সুতরাং আইন যারা প্রয়োগ করে আমার মনে হয় যে ওইরকম পুলিশ বাহিনীকেও যথেষ্ট দক্ষ করা দরকার।
যেমন প্রয়োগটা আমি এক্সাম্পল দিয়ে বোঝাচ্ছি যে বাংলাদেশের যে কোনো আইন কানুনে যদি কোনো মিনিস্টার বা কোনো পার্লামেন্টের কোনো আত্মীয় স্বজন কোনো কঠিন অপরাধ করে সে অপরাধগুলো ধামাচাপা পড়ে যায়।
যারা বুঝতে পারে যে আইনটা কী জিনিস এবং আইনটা কেন প্রয়োগ করা হচ্ছে,
যেমন টেলিফোন অপরাধ ঘটার আগেই টেলিফোন চলে যায় যে আমার ভাইস্তে পড়েছে, তাকে ছেড়ে দেওয়া হোক।
আমি মনে করি যুক্তরাষ্ট্রকে আমরা যদি খাপি করতে পারি এবং যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের আইন কানুন বাংলাদেশে প্রয়োগ করি তাহলে খুবই ভালো হয়।
এবং পুলিশ বাহিনীর দক্ষতা বাড়ানো দরকার, যেমন ডাকলে যেন পুলিশ বাহিনীকে পাওয়া যায়।
এভাবেই আইনটা ডিসমিস ধামাচাপা পড়ে যায়।
এখন আমেরিকাতে আমরা দেখতেছি ওইরকম যে যথেষ্ট পরিমাণে পুলিশ আছে, যথেষ্ট পরিমাণে পুলিশের কার এবং বিভিন্ন কিছু আছে।
আর আমেরিকার যে আইনটা এটা সম্পূর্ণ আমেরিকান লতে, যেমন বিল ক্লিন্টনের মেয়ে ফুল স্পিডে গাড়ি চালাচ্ছিল, তো গাড়িটার স্পিড লিমিটেডটা ছিল আমেরিকার আইনের বহির্ভূত।
হ্যাঁ, সুতরাং পুলিশ ডাকলে যে কোনো মুহূর্তে আমরা 5 মিনিটস 10 মিনিটের মধ্যে পুলিশ আমার ধারে কাছে পেয়ে যাই।
যেমন বহির্ভূত হওয়ার কারণে সেই স্পিরিটটাকে যে স্পিরিট লতে মেট্রোপলিটন যে স্পিরিটের ল আছে সে লতে আমেরিকার আইনটার প্রয়োগটা তার অপরাধী বলে ধার্য করা হয়েছে এবং সে অপরাধী বলে তাকে মেট্রোপলিটন পুলিশ তাকে গ্রেপ্তার করেছে।
হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু বাংলাদেশে এরকম যদি যথেষ্ট পরিমাণে পুলিশের ব্যবস্থা করা যেত এবং পুলিশের পর্যাপ্ত পুলিশকে প্রশিক্ষণ দেওয়া যেত এবং পুলিশকে যথেষ্ট পরিমাণে যন্ত্রপাতি ইনস্ট্রুমেন্টস যেমন হোক কার ইত্যাদি এগুলো দেওয়া যেত, তাহলে দ্রুত যেন তারা ঘটনাস্থলে পৌঁছতে পারে, এটা হলো বড় একটা ব্যাপার। আর প্রশাসনিক দক্ষতাটাই হচ্ছে বড় ব্যাপার। প্রশাসন যেভাবে চালাইতে চায় পুলিশের হয়তো আইন প্রয়োগকারী সংস্থার লোকজন সেইভাবেই চলতেছে।
এখানে আইনটার ডিফারেন্ট।
পুলিশ স্বাধীনভাবে তাদেরকে যেটা শেখানো হচ্ছে সেটা করতে পারে।
Welcome back to Bideshi. You're watching it on STV US. So, Uncle, we were talking about doing a workshop and whatnot in New Jersey. Well, the next question I'll have is definitely for Charmaine, because given that you're the thing we were talking about was, is it for someone like us, or someone from South Asia, someone from Bangladesh, do we have a position to advance in this kind of a career choice?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As I was saying before, I was told by a family member, to look in the mirror. You're a woman, you're brown, you're not going to make it in, the white man's world is really it. And the legal field is a white man's world, or at least known as such. That drove me more, and I did it. And actually, I can say that by the age of 27, I had attained my dream, because as my father told you before, I wanted to be a lawyer. I always knew I wanted to be a lawyer since 7th grade. Then in college, I knew I wanted to be at the Attorney General's office. So when I got this position, I came to where I wanted to be, and now I can only move up.
This brings to a very important, very fascinating topic that it's just we still don't have a women president in the United States. Do you have any comments on that?
No.
She's like, no.
No, I know. I think that, it's not, or shouldn't be gender-based. I mean, if somebody comes up who's good and qualified, then we'll have to address it then.
Yeah, because after 9/11, mostly, a lot of things surfaced that America is, a lot of times racist and whatnot. Their policies are not favorable to Muslims. Have you, any one of you, come across anything of that sort? Because we had people from Drum that came and said how a lot of policies that were in action right after 9/11 were unethical, and how that shouldn't have been in place to begin with. So
You mean from the people on the streets, things of that nature?
yeah.
I personally have not experienced anything like that. But looking at me, you don't know what I really am, except for maybe just someone who's South Asian.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's gone on.
But I'm asking more in the government or in the policy making sense.
We were hired out. Both of us were hired after 9/11. I got my federal clerkship after 9/11. I got my judicial state clerkship after 9/11, and now I'm in the Attorney General's office after 9/11. And I have have a friend who was at New Jersey's Attorney General's office, just left to go work with the United States Attorney's Office. He's Muslim too. So people here aren't naive. They know, you know, who you are. They know that everybody's not a terrorist and all that other stuff. So
okay, so yeah, well, my experience is also very similar to yours because I personally have not. But then, you know, you hear all these stories, and every time you go there, you're like, you know, where you pinpoint it because of your religion or your color. And I guess the consensus here is no. Yeah.
We haven't personally, but you can't discredit.
you can't speak for everybody.
Right.
Sharmeen, you went to Bangladesh, right, recently?
Yes.
Can you tell us about your trip?
Well, I went on a U.S. State Department Speaker Exchange Program, and it was called the Speaker Specialist Grant. What they're doing is promoting democracy, rule of law. They had actually read about me in the papers in Bangladesh, and the U.S. Embassy there made a request for me to come and participate in the program. So they asked me to speak on multiculturalism issues, the rule of law in America, and Islam, perception of Islam, or misperceptions of Islam. So I went. It was a wonderful experience. I got to speak to all different facets of life in Bangladesh. I spoke to, I think the people who impacted me most in my experience there was the Women's Law Association over there, because it's so different. As I said to you before, Bangladesh is a developing country. Their laws are developing, and the women's rights are developing, their children's rights are developing. One of the leaders there, I think her name was Salma Ali, she told me that in Bangladesh, when a woman is imprisoned and she is a child, up to a certain age, and I can't tell you what it is right now, the child goes into the prison with her. So there's not a place for that child to be. So those things need to be developed. And so, you know, it was a very interesting experience. I loved it, and was asked by the State Department to participate again. So it was good.
I mean, it's just something like I wanted to bring up as well, of how your experience of Bangladesh, like how it shaped, you know, you enjoyed it there. And what can we do? Like, given that you're a lawyer and you're saying that how laws need to change, definitely we're a new country, we're emerging, we have a lot of things emerging. What can we do as citizens, as people watching the show, to help, like expedite, to help promote? কিভাবে আমরা হেল্প করতে পারি যে আমাদের লটা, আমাদের দেশে বাংলাদেশের লটা যেন আরো ভালো হয়, আরো সুস্থভাবে চলে?
Well, I don't think that we can tell them how to. I think that we can act as a role model. But again, they're developing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking as a role model. Like, what kind of advice can you give them? Even
we can, I think, participate in these types of programs. Go, you know, in these exchange programs, go and speak to them, answer their questions to the best of our ability. And I don't know if he has anything to add.
What do you think are the biggest obstacles to Bangladesh law? Uncle, আপনি কি মনে করেন যে বাংলাদেশ law সবচেয়ে বড় obstacle?
আসলে অনেক গভীর বিষয় এবং গভীর সমস্যা এবং বহুদিনের সমস্যা।
আমাদের জন্য আমরা যেহেতু আমরা থাকি না বাংলাদেশে, you know, from outside what I can see, I can tell it's corruption. There's a lot of corruption going on, and people that are in the government or that are in the lawmaking process, they have to be a little more stricter about that, which they're planning on doing. I mean, anything else that you think needs to, like the way, the image that they're projecting to the outside world?
You also have to remember that America is, you know, 200 years old.
Yeah.
It's a very developed nation.
Yes.
So, which means that people here with high standards of living have a lot at stake. So when you have a lot at stake, when you have something to lose, you're going to obey the law, you're going to follow the law a lot more than people who do not have that much at stake. I don't know what the poverty level in Bangladesh is, or the standard of living, but I mean, isn't it something like 90% poverty?
Yeah,
so,
right. Pretty close.
So people are probably worrying about other things like getting food on the table than about not speeding or, you know,
maintaining
suing,
the law,
whatever. Right?
So I guess everything is related. I mean,
it's all related.
If you can't feed your child, you're going to think about that first.
That's the first thing on your mind.
That's
so
the first thing on your mind.
It's a big process, you know, and I think what can be done is, you know what, just learn from other people, learn from other places where it worked, see what they did.
Thanks, Diwan. We'll be right back after a very short break. Keep watching Deshi. You're watching Deshi at STV US. Diwan, as you and I were talking about how, you know, people can use America or any other developed country as role models, because as we all know that America didn't happen in one day. They had to go through a lot of trial and error process. So do you think that's the answer as well?
Yeah, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. I mean, the wheel's already been invented.
Yes.
So learn from systems that work is the advice that I would give, but who am I to give advice?
Yes, I mean, you are in a very important position, and I'm pretty sure you also have a lot of experience. Now I'm going to ask both of you about your future plans. Does it involve Bangladesh in any ways?
Well, I've been getting a lot of pressure on me to get married.
This is interesting. Huh?
Are you single?
Oh, sure, why not? Well, see, I got proposed on TV, on air, with his dad here.
I think that makes it very serious.
Yes, okay.
You got my stuff.
No, but seriously, do you guys see yourself getting married to a Bangladeshi girl, or even going to Bangladesh and trying to do something? And when I say try to do something for the country, it's very vague, and I know I shouldn't. But just in general, any idea of what your future holds?
Well, I'm kind of happy where I am right now. I love my job, and I guess in terms of finding a wife, whatever happens.
He needs help.
He needs help. Wow.
Whatever happens.
Open invitation, guys. Very successful guy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm happy where I am, so.
Okay. I mean, what about you?
I too am happy with my career. I love it. I love my job. I love waking up I love going to my job. I don't know about the waking up part. But we both love Bangladesh. Our families are there, our extended families.
Yes.
So we're in touch with them. We love to see them, visit them, for them to come here.
There's another question that I have. It's all the panelists always talk about this. We have at least 50% of Bangladesh in us, because our parents were born there, they were raised there. Where do you see our kids being? Do you think, given that we're so successful in America, and I don't even know how much Bangladesh I have in me other than the love for the country, do you think we can survive it and actually not morph into just Americans and keep our identity as Bangladeshi Americans?
Absolutely. Look what we're doing here today. You have a Bengali TV station, and I think we're becoming, our culture is being more identified here the longer it gets, Your entire audience, I believe, is Bangladeshi, right? So I think we have something like 10 or 12 channels here now. We have the Bengali Association that he used to be president of. So I don't really fear loss of identity, our identity.
Thank you. Thanks, Diwan, for coming to the show. Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you, Uncle, for being with us today. We really did have a wonderful time, and we're very proud of you. Wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you.
Audience, we have to wrap up our show. We will read you the letters that you have sent to us after a short little break. And what I want to say is that success, if you're really motivated, if you put your mind to it, no matter what you do and how you do it, you'll be successful. And always remember that we are Bangladeshi Americans, and always have the love of Bangladesh in your heart. Thank you. Hey viewers, welcome to Bideshi Mail. আমরা এই সেকশনে আপনাদের চিঠি এবং ইমেলস পড়ে শোনাই, এবং আপনাদের যদি কোনো কোয়েশ্চেনস এবং কমেন্টস থাকে সেটা আমরা অ্যাড্রেস করি। Well, our first email today comes from Mr. Rana Masood. I'll read you his email. This is Mr. Rana from Bangladesh. I watch your programs every day. Mr. Rana, does Bideshi run every day? Well, thanks for watching though. I must ask your organizer to telecast for us how Bangladesh can improve. Well, that's a very good suggestion that you have made. I will tell our administrators to put together a show from which you can learn about the things that we do in America and how it can improve the quality of life in Bangladesh. At the same time, in Bangladesh, they can do shows where they can show what people in Bangladesh do and how it can improve our lives in America. So it can go both ways. But thanks for your email. Okay, next email. আচ্ছা, এটা একটা খুব কঠিন ইমেল, আমি আপনাদেরকে পড়ে শোনাচ্ছি। আজাদ ফ্রম বাংলাদেশ রোড, আপনারা ইংলিশ খুব বেশি বলেন। বাংলা না বললে অনেকেই আপনাদের কথা বুঝবে না। বাংলা কি আপনারা ভুলে গেছেন? আজাদ ভাই খুব কষ্ট পেলাম, আপনি এমন একটা কথা বলেছেন। আমরা বাংলা ভুলে যাইনি। আমাদের যারা প্যানেলিস্ট আসে শোতে, ইনক্লুডিং মি, আমরা সবাই যেহেতু আমেরিকাতে বড় হয়েছি, আমাদের ইংলিশটা even if we don't want it, it becomes our primary language. যদিও আমাদের প্রতিটা প্যানেলিস্ট, and I can say that, are very good in বাংলা, তারা খুব ভালো মতোই বাংলা বলতে পারে, কিন্তু তারা ক্যামেরার সামনে এবং টিভিতে বাংলা বলতে একটু আনকমফর্টেবল ফিল করে। এর জন্য আমরা তাদেরকে বলি it's more important what you're saying more than how you're saying it. So I hope you understand, কিন্তু we will keep it in consideration, আর আমরা ট্রাই করব আরো বেশি বাংলা বলার। Thank you. Our last email of the day comes from Jishan from Connecticut. He wrote, "Hi Dia, I really like your show. Thank you. It's quite interesting and entertaining. Thanks again. I want to participate in the show. Please tell me how." Well, Jishan, it's very easy. All you have to do is you have to be in between the ages of 18 and 32. তোমার একটু outgoing হতে হবে, ক্যামেরা shy হলে চলবে না, এবং make sure you have a solid love for Bangladesh and you are aware of the things happening in Bangladesh as well as here in America. All you have to do is write to us. Our email is bdeshi@stvus.tv and I will get in touch with you. Viewers, this is all the time we have today. So, আপনারা ভালো থাকুন, সুস্থ থাকুন, এবং keep watching Bideshi at STVUS. And don't forget to write to us because we do love reading your emails. Take care. আপনাদের যদি কোনো questions or comments থাকে, or if you want to be a part of our show, or if you have any opinions about our show, please email us at bdeshi@stvus.tv.